So Starbucks is back in the news today, and they just released earnings, and those earnings are new. But when you think about it, the stock price is going like this, straight up. So something just doesn't add up, and I'm interested to hear what you got to think about it, because I stopped going quite some time, and what we're going to do today is give them another test to see if all these CEO implementations that they're trying to implement um, have worked and where they at. So first, let's look at some of the numbers. So they just released. So revenue stayed the same almost. The net income was down 23%. And when you look at the net profit margin is also down by 23%. So when you're looking at all these numbers, you would think, oh my gosh, it's going to be a stock collapse, right? No, the stock for the 6 months has actually been up. And so that resulted into the CEO of actually making like 90 something million dollars. Absolutely bananas. And so we're going to go to Starbucks, see if they can have the 4-minute deadline, if they can reach that. And we're going to see if they have the condiment bars and what this whole thing's going to cost. So I'm not going to go and just get a normal coffee because they can just let that out of the dispenser. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get like one of these pistachio lattes or something that they're still offering to see if they can do it under the 4 minutes. And let's go check it out. How's it going? Good. Can I get a pistachio latte grande?
Hot, right?
Yeah, hot. Okay, so we were in the store. Once I got my order, we were in it for 3 minutes and 26 seconds. So this is well below the 4 minute mark that they've set. The drink is pretty decent, still heavily overpriced though. For I think I spent $6.20 on one of their lattes. So let me see what. Here we go. So I've got a pistachio latte, just how they said. I said, I got to get something that's going to take a little time because if you just get a normal coffee, obviously they're going to make it in time if they just need to brew it. Yeah, so this was $6.77. The condiment bar is also back, as you can see. Not as much as they used to before. They like vanilla. They had all these other things going on, and now they just got the oat milk and the lattes out. So I give this about a 2.5 to 5 stars, and let's finish the walk. Okay, so we're back, and they actually did it in under 4 minutes. The condiment bars is semi coming back. The Sharpie that they've been talking about has not come back yet, but I've never ever was like, oh my gosh, they need to write on your cup, and it's a nice little touch. I don't think that is something that you guys should care about or I care about. I care more about bringing the price down. So if you can bring that price down from $6.77 to about $4, I might be coming back, or $5. But if you're going to say we're going to increase prices some more, how much do you really want to pay for a cup of coffee? Is it $9? Where is that fine line? Because in business, you have this scenario where you can say, hey, let me increase the prices so much, right? So let's say you have 100 customers paying $10, right? So you can actually take that away and say, we're going to double it. We're going to double our prices. And if we eliminate half the customers, we're still going to be at the same amount of money. So, but what we did is we've cut a bunch of work out. We've cut, we can cut labor and do all that kind of stuff, right? So you doubled the price. You lost half of the customers, but you're still making more now because you just increased your prices. But now the question is going to come in is how long and how many people are going to keep spending this way, because we're seeing it. Federal employees are going to have to go back to office, right? Going to go back to the office. Some are going to be let go. So all of that money that they used to spend are now going to be starting to dry up. And I know I've been telling you guys this all along, that you got to be so worried about your money, because we're looking at all these people being laid off. You're looking at, hey, 8-9 months job search if you don't do it right. And once you're in that wheel of like, oh my gosh, I might get fired, or I might not get, or I might be furloughed or something else, you need to cut the spending. And what do you cut? I think Starbucks is one of the places where you cut first. going to Trader Joe's and buying food is not where you cut first. That's where you cut last. So you go and cut entertainment, you cut movies, you cut coffee, right? And you make it at home. And a lot of people in my previous video said that they make their coffee at home. So now I'm seeing that their revenue is down, their net profit is down, and so now I'm looking at it like, why is the stock still sky high? So when is there going to be a correction where people say, you know what, this is the value proposition's not there, the price is too high, so we just gotta stop it and say, you know what, we're gonna go and we're gonna leave, because now they want to unionize, they want to make more money, the people want more money, the workers, what I get, like this. And that is one of the biggest problems for these shops, right? For any employer, right? You want to pay the least amount for your employees, and the company wants to charge the most amount. That's how business works, right? You cut costs, you try to do all that. It's not the philosophy that I run personally, because I feel like, hey, if my employees are treated well, they get a decent paycheck, they're more likely to stay, and it doesn't cost me much, right? But when you're in the fast food industry and you're like, hey, we just make coffee, you cannot pay a barista $150,000 a year, right? And it'd be nice if that was the case, but it just doesn't make ecological sense, right? Because all of a sudden then engineers and everybody else that went to way more schooling, did way more stuff, would have to make $500,000 plus a year, right? And so there is a huge dilemma when it comes to companies and workers. They want the maximum out of it, while you as the owner or the shareholder wants maximum profitability. So somebody always has to suffer. And most of the times it's people in third world countries that, that get the beans, that do all that, or they just say, hey, we're not going to give them equipment, we're not going to do all that. Sustainability out the window, we're just trying to get the cheapest product. So when we get the cheapest product, we can save there, and we can save on some spreadsheets and trying to do some creative accounting so that you can actually save money. And yeah, that is the name of the game. Because if you're in sales, right, if you're thinking about this, you're in sales, it's really hard to actually get people to buy, right? Regardless of what industry it is, every customer needs to be acquired, right? So you got to go out and spend money, spread awareness, do door knocking, and do all that. That's required effort. And so when you're in sales and you're like, how do I get more sales? You've got to be price competitive nowadays, because if you're looking at $6.70 for a cup of coffee, you can actually go to your local shop and get a better cup of coffee for probably a cheaper price. And I think that is going to be a huge, huge issue for them coming up, because you can only raise your prices so much, right? And we saw that with cars. So when you're looking at car sales, so when you're looking at car dealers, they've raised their prices like crazy. And when there's not enough cars out, you can charge what you want, because people want nice cars and all this other stuff, right? So in the car sales world, when you're trying to sell cars and there's not enough supply and demand, we now know exactly what the outcome is, right? People charge over asking price, and the whole industry just goes into this overdrive situation where you don't really need to sell cars. You can just kind of let it be, and people will come to you and basically pay whatever, because they got FOMO, they got good money, or whatever else it is. And so now the proposition comes in, where is enough for any company? How much can you get out of a hamburger? How much can you get out of a car, right? Where is going to be the limit where people say, you know what, I'm done, I'm not going to do it? And for me, that happened with Starbucks probably about 8 months ago, where I said, you know what, this is not sustainable and this is not doable. When you do that every day and you get a latte or a coffee for $6, $7, that really weighs in. All of a sudden you're spending hundreds of dollars, and it's not worth it. You need to give discounts to people so that they'll come back, like loyalty, and not just trying to, oh, I'm really tired today, let me go get a coffee once in a while. That's a strategy also. But when you have so many locations, you want loyal members. You almost want to do like Panera did, where you have the free unlimited sip club, or whatever you call it, where you drink unlimited coffee for $19.99 and then or 50% discounts on every one, and you roll out a subscription model, right? Where you say, you know what, we're gonna roll out a subscription model where you can come in and you pay 20 bucks a month, and every coffee you make will give you 50% off. So you're guaranteed to get that 20 bucks, and there's probably still enough money in it for you if you discount the coffee 50%. Because at the end of the day, people like me that stopped going are gonna say, huh, 50% discount, rolling it out, it's worth it. So how many coffees do I need to drink? Oh, for 20 bucks, I need to drink 4 coffees, and I'm kind of like at the break-even point again. So wouldn't be too bad, and I think that will get a lot of people back. But then you guys have been saying, oh, just go to Dunkin' Donuts where you can get a cheap Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and it's like $2. And so you have to be so into the numbers and so aware of what your company's doing that you gotta be on top of the game and see where's that line where I'm gonna break the camel's back and say I can't take it anymore. And so this is what Business 101 is all about. And yeah, I've been on calls with people that got fired, that have been let go, and now they're gonna join the job market. And so these people are not gonna be buying coffee. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Is it gonna get better? Is it gonna get worse? Are people gonna go and spend money like that? Because $6 is actually quite some, it's actually quite a lot. $6.70, when you think about it, that a lot of people are making like 20 bucks an hour. That is like you just worked after taxes, like half a day, or like half an hour just to get a coffee. And at the end of the day, is that really worth it to you to work a half a day for a cup of coffee? I don't think so. I would say no. I would probably say no, and I'm curious to see what you guys think, because it's just crazy. Getting that much, charging that much is just outlandish. So yeah, doesn't, a lot of stuff just doesn't make sense. And I looked at these, and now we're kind of rolling into the AI segment where this DeepSeek model has been trending, where it's like, oh my gosh, they did it at such a cheaper cost, and Silicon Valley is now in panic mode. I think people need to realize that there is a price cap on American consumer spendings. And I don't know, but I can't afford spending that much money on coffee every day, and I can't spend that much money on all these other things that everybody's like, let's just do price increases, let's do price increases. At one point, people are going to say, no, I'm not going to go back, and I'm done. And so, yeah, we are going to see. It is sure some interesting times, so we're along for the ride. But I'll give them that. I give Starbucks this one thing, that they got it down under 4 minutes. They did bring the condiment bar back, and they're not going to charge for oat milk what they used to do. So there is some pros to it. But if there's going to be price hikes again, shit, can't do it. Can't go back. Because you can buy one for a few $100s, like an espresso maker, and have the same stuff at home. So yeah, it is crazy. But Americans, consumers, are done, especially with all these credit cards, credit card delinquencies at all-time highs. Somebody's got to eat that, and most likely it's going to be taxpayers. So yeah, so these are just some common knowledge, I would say. I don't think that this is any revolutionary idea, but hey, sometimes when you're in it, you just don't know it, right? So let me know what you guys think. Please, if you haven't, like or subscribe. And yeah, this was it for this video. Pretty decent. It's a gorgeous day out in Vegas. It was all overcast the other day, and now it's starting to get warmer again. I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for 110, and I'm sick and tired of running the heater. And yeah, so it is. I'm in this parking lot where I come to all the time, and it is just the most gorgeous place like ever. Like, look at that blue sky. Nothing. It's just blue sky, nice weather. The wind's not really there. So yeah, it's time to drive convertible again soon enough. So yeah, it's gonna be real good. Let me know what topics I should do. If you have an article or something that you want to share, shoot me an email and let's connect on LinkedIn and all this kind of other stuff. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.